This is Dr. R. Alarmelu Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Okay, in this video series, we are going to discuss about AngularJS and Bootstrap. So now, what do you mean by AngularJS? It is an open source JavaScript framework by Google. Okay, so Google have introduced this framework. You all know what is a framework, where you can fit in other languages, scripting languages also inside this. Then this is an extension of HTML. You can use the HTML attributes also inside this AngularJS, and this is designed for building a single page applications, and it is a dynamic one, and it follows an architecture which is called as MVC architecture. The full form for MVC is model, view, and then controller. So here example for this is a registration form, where you can give the details and you can store it in the database. Here you will not have any interaction between you and the form. Then why we are going for this AngularJS? So it simplifies the development with two-way data binding. What do you mean by data binding? So it has to store the data in the database. Again, you have to retrieve it from the database. So you have a two-way communication, and it eliminates boilerplate code, and also it is easy for integration with HTML and existing code, and also it has a built-in features for routing, validation, and testing. So what do you mean by this validation? Once you are entering the data, it has to fulfill the criteria what they have given. For example, in the password, if you have to mix with the special character and then normal characters, that is text characters and numbers, then only it will accept your data. If you are not using any one of that, it will not accept your data. So this is called as your validation. And what is this routing? Routing is nothing but taking you or navigating you to the pages. Then comes the key features of AngularJS. So what are the different key features under AngularJS? First one is two-way data binding. What do you mean by binding? Compiling your data. So in C and C++ you have studied about binding. Actually in object oriented programming you should have studied about binding. That is nothing but early binding and late binding, that is compiler time and execution time, that is static binding and then dynamic binding. So this two-way binding is nothing but you will be giving your data, then that will be stored in the database, and again you can get it from the database. This is your two-way binding. And then comes to the directives. You have got different directives like ng model, ng bind, etc. What do you mean by directive? It is nothing but giving direction what to do. Then comes the dependency injection. This is nothing but same as your function, where you have to call the function and you have to use that. Then comes the filters. Filters is nothing but sorting like thing, or what you want, that alone you will be extracting from the data. Then comes the routing for SPAs. Routing is nothing but your navigation. Then comes the AngularJS architecture. As we have seen, it is an MVC architecture. So what is this model? Model is nothing but your logic. Okay. Or a model, you can also say it as a data from server or local server. Then comes the view. View is nothing but what you are viewing. That is your user interface. Then comes your controller, which controls or handles the data. Then comes the scope, which is the connection between the view and the controller. Then comes the AS directives. This is nothing but a special HTML attribute starting with ng. ng is nothing but Angular. Now ng app is nothing but it defines the AngularJS application. Model is nothing but binds the data to the input field, and ng bind is nothing but it binds the model data to the HTML element. Then comes the expression. So you all know expression is nothing but a combination of operator and the operand. So now you have got this code snippet. this expression inside this AngularJS, you will be indicating between the double parenthesis. Okay, so when you are running the data or executing this function or this AngularJS app, what happens? The thing which is inside your double parenthesis will get executed. That is your expression. Then two-way binding. This is synchronizing the data between the model and the view automatically, and you will be using ng model for this binding. Then comes the filters. Filters is nothing but extracting the data what you want, and that will be viewed in your user interface. Then coming to the conclusion part, this AngularJS is a powerful framework for building single page applications, and it reduces the code and easy for integration, and it has been used for building up a single page applications. Then coming to the assignment part, you have to write what is in AngularJS and the overview of that, and for the reference we have given the link. And in the next session we will be discussing about the difference between AngularJS and the Bootstrap. Thank you.